You're all very welcome, and thank you all for coming and celebrating with us. It's such an amazing thing to think how far we've come in 10 years. Hopefully you've enjoying the little presentation we put on there. You might see some of your faces as well over the years. Some of us looking much younger, and some of us not, obviously. But we did some calculations over the past few days to see how many children we've helped in the 10 years. We think we worked out about 6,000 children. So absolutely amazing, and that's all down to the hours that our volunteers, our reading helpers put in over the time that they've been with us and still with us. And we've worked in about 130 different schools, which is pretty good. I think probably more than half the schools in Oxfordshire. And when you think some of them are quite tiny, we like to think we are in the biggest schools at least, and we can offer our help there. So all in all, the volunteering hours that our volunteers have put in is possibly, get this right now, 180,000 hours.
Wow.
And that's free time, absolutely, yeah. So that's an amazing saving to the county, certainly financially. They couldn't afford those hours. They certainly couldn't afford the hours that you give, you know, when it comes to a monetary. But we don't do it for the money, do we? I mean, that's the whole point. Hopefully you get so much back from the volunteering. That's where the real positive is, the 50% giving and 50% taking. So you give as much as you get, hopefully, and that's why you stay so long with us, we hope. So we're very grateful to have Copethorpe put on this beautiful occasion. They're such good friends of ours, and it's so kind of them to put on a lovely event like this. And I've certainly seen some amazing nibbles and food and teas and drinks and things that we'll enjoy soon as I stop talking. But we are grateful to them. And also I hope you've all seen the cake, which we will be cutting later as well, a 10th cake. There should be enough for everyone here, I think, and maybe some more. So that looks pretty amazing as well. I'm going to hand over to Jane now to say the next part, okay.
Can you hear me? Is it working? Okay. So yes, welcome to you all from me as well. And you know, we're here to celebrate 10 years of Arch today, and also to say an enormous thank you to all of you and all of our other volunteers as well and supporters. We couldn't invite everyone, of course, so many people. So today we've invited our longest standing supporters, and we're so glad that you're here with us today to celebrate. We were here 2 years ago, of course. Some of you were here with us then, and that's when we received the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. So again, that was hosted by Copethorpe very kindly, that we're really appreciative of all the support they give us. And here we are again celebrating today because we've won the OCVA Charity of the Year Award this year. We were delighted with that news. We shared it. We all hope you all know about that because we keep talking about it all the time now. But it's a great award for Arch, a great success, and in our 10th year it's a lovely thing to celebrate as well. So we're celebrating that, and you'll see both awards are down there. Perhaps you saw them as you came in, but we're very proud award winners, and we're very proud to be part of an award-winning charity. And as Elaine says, we know you all do it, you're involved because you love it, and we as staff love it too. And I think it's a very happy organisation. It's win-win. The children obviously benefit, volunteers hopefully benefit, and we benefit as staff as well, and trustees, and anyone who's involved in supporting the organisation. So it's just great to celebrate today. So thank you all for coming. We're going to continue these celebrations, of course, because we love a party. So on the 10th of July, we'll have our normal termly volunteer meeting, to which all our volunteers are invited. And those who can't be here today will obviously share in the joy on the 10th of July. But we hope that those volunteers who are here today will also come on the 10th of July. So any excuse for a party, we're really happy. We're really delighted today to have with us Jane Cranston, who's the Deputy Lieutenant of Oxfordshire, and she's with us to say a few words. Welcome, Jane.
that working? Yes, you can hear me. My first thing to say to you all is an apology from the Lord Lieutenant, Tim Stevenson, who would really love to have been here. He is an enormous fan and supporter of Arch, and he sent his apologies it isn't here, and he'd be particularly cross. It's a lovely sunny day and a nice tea, so I shall make sure I report that back to him. His loss, of course, is my gain to be here at the 10th birthday party celebration. And I understand that the charity was set up in 2008 due to the withdrawal of funding from the national charity Volunteer Reading Help, who had under the mistaken idea that Oxfordshire was an entirely affluent county. This was clearly, in the view of the 110 volunteers at 70 schools involved, wrong. But Oxfordshire is Oxfordshire, and the matter was not allowed to lie there. And Chris and Eddie Williams, along with the late Christopher Quinton and others, took it upon themselves not to let the initiative die and formed Arch, Assisted Reading for Children in Oxfordshire, to continue that fantastic work that's done. And I understand that many of those original volunteers are here in this room today, 10 years on. Congratulations. That deserves medals too. Do you give up medals?
Yeah,
we do. Of course. The charity's gone from strength to strength, and you've already heard there's 6,000 children that benefit from Arch. That's an extraordinary number in the last 10 years. And it's hard to imagine, isn't it, what not being able to read would do to a young person's self-esteem. Never have been a good idea, but in this day and age, with all the social media, if you couldn't even send a text message or read one, wouldn't that be a devastating blow to your self-confidence? I want to tell you a little story. I was High Sheriff last year, which is a wonderful privilege, and you get to see and do all sorts of things. One of the things I did was go to all the prisons around Oxfordshire, and I was in Grendon, which is a prison for Category A prisoners, all there for very serious offences, but it's a therapeutic prison. And I went into a session. There were 18 of us sitting around in the room. You know, I'm Fred, and I've murdered 3 people and knifed my wife, and I'm Charlie, and I've raped 19 people, and I'm Jane, and I'm the High Sheriff, and I'm thinking, what am I doing here? But it was really fascinating, because these guys and it was all men in there, had never been got to talk before, never been got to, and they'd come from backgrounds where you didn't wash your dirty linen in public, so if you were being abused at home, you didn't tell anybody about it, you just kept stum. And there was this one remarkable guy, he was Liverpudlian, he was 50-ish. Obviously, I suspect being a bit cheeky chappy in his youth. He was that rather bright, cheerful sort of bloke. And he had been asked by the prisoners on his wing to be the chairman of their wing. They could vote to have a chairman of each wing, who then was able to talk to management and maybe change a few rules and regulations. And he had declined that position because he was so worried that he couldn't do it because he couldn't read. And that really struck me, and driving here today I thought, that says it all. This man at 55, he couldn't read, and he hadn't taken it on. At the third attempt at persuading him, he had become it, and he was a very fine chairman of his thing, and he was hugely respected by everybody, and he was then trying to learn to read, which is not so easy when you're 55. So the work that you do, in some cases, is just a little help up for people. In some cases, you will be very seriously altering for the better the course of their lives. So bear that story in mind. It really struck me as a good one. He hadn't come across Arch, poor fellow. It's obviously a no-brainer to understand the importance to a child's self-confidence, self-esteem, and entire attitude to learning is hugely increased if they can read. And a year-long intervention of your volunteers here has been proven over and over again to be immensely successful. And I just can't thank both current and past volunteers enough. Again, during last year, I was astonished at the amount of volunteering that goes on in Oxfordshire. Hours and hours of your time for free. You commit to something, and I hope that you all get your own personal reward from that. And again, I can't thank current and past volunteers enough. That time that you give so generously, caringly, and freely to help your children. And I do hope that your friends and families and neighbours applaud you for it. You have my huge thanks and congratulations. And thanks too must go to supporters and friends. In these days of austerity, competition for funds for charities is increasingly fierce, and your continued support of Arch is vital to their ongoing success and well-being. And again, on behalf of all the volunteers and those children, thank you, the supporters, for your support. You won the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. You've just become the OCVA Charity of the Year. And I'm looking forward, with the continued support and participation from local business partners and others, for us all to be meeting up here in 11 years to celebrate the 21st birthday. And you're all going to be here. Yes. We don't want any more grey hairs disappearing. You're all going to be here. The need for early intervention for vulnerable and neglected children found in all levels of our society has never been more evident than it is today. And I wish you all huge success as you continue to grow and extend your invaluable work in helping those who are struggling to learn and are struggling to read. You're a wonderful organisation. Thanks to Cokethorpe, to Jane, to Elaine, to all your trustees, and on behalf of the county, thank you all very, very much indeed, and happy birthday.
One of our wonderful patrons, who many of you know, is a very accomplished poet and a performance poet, but I think he's now very worried that he's got serious competition in the Windmill School children. But we're very pleased to welcome John here today, and in celebration of the Arch 10th birthday, I believe he has written a special poem which is going to be aired right now. Welcome, John.
It's the Arch 10th anniversary rap. Put your hands together and give a clap. Do Arch's 10th anniversary rap. Today is the day for celebrations when we offer our congratulations to Arch's staff for all they do to train up volunteers who give their time and expertise for free to help the children who they see, because they are all children who need some extra help with learning to read. They give their support one-to-one and make sure that all they do is fun. So join with me in saying well done to the volunteers and everyone involved with Arch. Long may you continue to do the work you do. You thoroughly deserve the reward of the City of the Charity of the Year Award. Put your hands together and give a clap. Do Arch's 10th anniversary rap.
Amazing. Thank you so much, John. We'll treasure that. Thank you. So, as we were planning for our 10th anniversary, our thoughts turned to perhaps the children that Arch volunteers worked with years and years ago. And I'm sure the volunteers in the room, all of you who've been here a long time, you probably wonder, what happens to the children that we work with? You know, how are they doing in their lives? How are they getting on? We know volunteers often say this to us, and of course we lose touch with them as they progress through their schools. But as I say, we were thinking about, I wonder, you know, the children we first worked with, where they are in their lives now, what they're doing now. And we're so delighted today. You see, we have an extra special guest with us here at Top Table. Welcome to Jonathan, who is here with his volunteer, Anne. Anne Collier is one of our volunteers now, but many years ago, when Anne was volunteering in Stanton Harcourt Primary School, she worked with Jonathan, who was, I think, 9 or 10 at that time. So we've reunited them this afternoon, which is just amazing and quite emotional. And we've invited them both here to get some views and hear about how Jonathan's doing now. So we're going to have a little chat. So welcome to you both.
Some of you might have heard an interview a couple of weeks ago on Radio Oxford, actually, so good, yes. So it's not the first time we've done it, but we're very, very pleased that you're here with us. And welcome, Anne and Jonathan. So pleased you could join us on this anniversary celebration here at Cokethorpe today. So Jonathan, can I start with you? How do you recall how you felt reading when you first had to read with Anne? How did you feel about that?
Do you want me to have it?
Yes.
Hi, firstly I'd say thank you very much for having me here today. It's really nice. It's a pleasure to come along. I just felt, hugely kind of overwhelmed with reading, with kind of being in class as itself with other teachers and having to be told to read, for me that was something that I was hugely nervous around, and something that I was never given much focus on. I always found that other students who were slightly stronger, slightly better at that time, had more kind of focus from teachers. So for me to have Anne come along at that age was exciting. You know, as a 10, 11-year-old, extremely nervous. And there was maybe a stigma behind that from other students that because I was having extra help, that was kind of frowned upon maybe, but that kind of slowly changed for me, and it just built complete confidence with myself session after session, and just knowing that somebody was actually there to listen to me, to give their time, which is of kind of great importance for me. So
Thank you. That's lovely to hear that. I think that's, obviously recount for all of the children we work with as well, but it's so lovely hearing it firsthand from Jonathan. Thank you for sharing that. Anne, what do you recall of the reading with Jonathan as those years ago?
Jonathan was always prepared to come and sit with me, unlike some who hid under the desk when they saw me approaching. I think we read Roald Dahl. We're not 100% sure what we were reading then, but he was always very attentive and always a delight to be with.
I'm sure. So Jonathan, you've gone on to become a trained actor. So is it fair to say that Anne provided your first public audience? And the books maybe you read together were your first lines?
I'm going to say yes. Yes, it was my first public audience. No, completely. Where I am now is, I managed to go to drama school, managed to get a scholarship, and from a child that I could read but found difficulty, I just didn't have that confidence brought out in me. I think to then go on to do things like I have is a great testament to volunteers like yourselves, especially to Anne as well. Of course, it's played a part in kind of where this has gone. It may have been a trigger, for sure.
You got anything to say, Anne? Did you see the budding actor in him?
Well, I can't remember that far back, but it's all been terribly rewarding, and it's brilliant to see where Jonathan is now, and I hope that we will continue to follow where he goes and what he achieves.
Yes,
Thank you
Hollywood
so much.
Maybe. Well, Archer's proud ambition is to help make literate children confident for life. And I think we can safely say that certainly in this instant that we've achieved that with Jonathan. So we're very proud that we have met Jonathan, that we've been able to reunite really Anne and Jonathan together. It's a really lovely story. And I believe you might have a message for Anne. Nothing staged yet.
I do. Firstly, I'd like to, undoubtedly thank you for coming in, being a volunteer. I always think potentially that inspired me. I'm a volunteer myself for Thames Valley Police in Oxford, so very different to acting. You see certainly a different side to Oxford. Maybe that kind of helped along the way, as seeing someone volunteer their time to me a long time when I've grown up. I've now become a volunteer in a slightly different way. I would like to thank you and everyone here for giving their time. Especially, and I think it's essential that everyone keeps on doing it. And I don't get paid for being in the police force, you don't get paid, but there are huge rewards, when you see students becoming able to read a lot better, there are rewards within it from itself. I am extremely grateful, thank you.
Well, thank you for must be my first student.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you.
So that was a lovely story, and we're so pleased to have you here to share it with us. As Elaine said, it was on Radio Oxford. Anne and Jonathan very kindly were interviewed on the Cat Orman show. I think it was broadcast a week ago, last Thursday. You can catch it on iPlayer. So please do. It's 1 hour, 8 minutes into the broadcast. We will put it on our website as well, because it's a really lovely interview, and that was an emotional reunion, wasn't it, in the studios for you both. So please have a listen, it's fabulous, and we'll put the link in our newsletter as well, so you can all share in the joy of that. The Oxford Mail are also going to be doing a little story on Anne and Jonathan's story as well, so we're expecting that to go in sometime next week. Also the Whitney Gazette and possibly the Oxford Times. So the fame just goes on, it's rolling on for these two. But you know, it's thanks to Anne, thanks to Jonathan as well for sharing his story, and again thanks to all of you. It's so lovely to hear your views of your memories of reading with Anne, and to see how far you've come. And you'll remember us when you're famous, won't you?
Absolutely.
Yes. Please. So hopefully you've all seen, we've got a beautiful, absolutely beautiful celebration cake here to celebrate Archie's birthday. And we thought it'd be very nice if Anne and Jonathan could just do the first cut. It's not like a wedding cake, obviously.
We're not that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We haven't got a knife at it.
No, we haven't got a knife.
I didn't know that you were actually going to ask me to say all that, but luckily I'd actually thought of doing so. I don't really want to say very much, but I just wanted to give you one insight into what we as trustees do. We're not just pretty faces. What we do, among other things, is talk to Elaine and Jane a great deal in our trustee meetings, which we have 4 times a year. And one of the things we keep on hearing from them is, well, you know, we've got this list of schools, you know, fine, we're in 100 or 120 schools, but we've got this extra list of schools in Oxfordshire that say they want volunteers, and we can't give them volunteers. And so the trustees say, well, why don't you get more volunteers? Where are they? You know, it's your job, you get volunteers. And we do this meeting after meeting after meeting, and the same thing happens every time. And we get the same answer every time. The answer is, it's not that easy to find good volunteers. And that's what Arch wants, and that's what Arch has. They're very particular about their choice of volunteers. You are the creme de la creme, the volunteers of Oxfordshire, and they're not going to lower their standards. And that is one of the most important things about Arch, that what they're doing is providing a very, very high quality service, which is much appreciated by schools, by children, by everybody who knows about it. I don't want to go blabbering on. I just want to say one thing, which is that the 2 people without whom there would be no Arch are, of course, Jane and Elaine, as we all know. And I don't really think there's very much we can do apart from recognise their huge dedication, their huge hard work and service over all these years. But as a mere token of our appreciation as trustees, and for your appreciation as volunteers, I would like 2 of our volunteers to give a very, very small presentation to Jane and Elaine now.
The agenda completely. We're completely closed. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you to David and to David, who are also our trustees. And, well, we do it because we love it, don't we?
I love it.
I love it. We know we are members of staff. We've been here since the beginning. We've had our ups and downs, staffing-wise, but I have to say that actually the job is a joy, because we meet such lovely people. And we say this in the office, you know, it's such a happy organisation. We meet lovely people who come forward as volunteers, as trustees, as patrons, We meet lovely head teachers, like Rachel Crouch, who's sitting here, like Lynn Knapp, who's sitting at the back. We come and see you volunteers, and we meet lovely children. We see volunteers doing such a good job. What's not to like? We have all the boring things to do in the office, like all the admin and data protection and things like that, which are just a bit of a pain. But what we do, we absolutely love. So that takes away any pain from GDPR, doesn't it? And the fact that, we know you're doing such a good job, and we want to make you as happy as we are, really, and we absolutely love it. So thank you very much.
I can only say the same, really. I mean, we feel like we live in a rose-coloured, rose-tinted, we look through rose-tinted windows in the office, because the people who come forward, every time we meet a new person, we think, gosh, they're so wonderful, and they're giving their time now, and they're going to join Arch, and it just gets stronger and stronger, and you just can't imagine how many wonderful people there are in the county. And we think, well, we couldn't get any better than we've got already, and then more people join us, and it just gets better and better and stronger. And people like you who've stayed, not just for the 1 year commitment, but after year on year on year, and helping more and more children, I mean, you really are the jewels in the crown as well. You're the ones who've really, sort of lasted the distance, and you've gained the experience, and you're giving more and more to the children. And we just feel like we facilitate that. We're just lucky to be the people to enable you to meet with the children and to do the work you do. So we certainly don't feel we deserve this. We're just glad to be involved in it. So thank you for being so wonderful yourselves. Thank you. We're hoping to cut the cake, but unfortunately we haven't got a knife. I don't suppose anyone's got a penknife on them. I think
not a loud, sharp instruments. No. I'm sure we can find a knife. I think the kitchen staff will probably help us, and our trustees are now on the way to try and get a knife. So, as I was saying, I thought it was so kindly, that interjection, Anne and Jonathan, we'd love you to make the first cut in the Arch cake, and we'd love a photo shoot of you doing it as well. It seems a shame to cut this beautiful cake, but we're going to have to, because we'd like you all to share in some birthday cake, and to also enjoy the rest of the afternoon tea, which has been so generously laid on by the Copethorpe Dyeing team, who are going to help us, I think, shortly. And then it's for you to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We do love a photo shoot, so Luke is on hand here, and we'll be taking photographs throughout the afternoon. Some people have also very kindly volunteered to be filmed to record their experiences of Arch, so thank you to those people as well.
We can't find a big knife.
Two blunt knives, that's good.
Looks safe.
So do enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Enjoy looking at our lovely photographic memories, which are up here, and the particularly lovely message we have from the Chief Executive of Oxfordshire County Council, which is coming up now. A lovely congratulations message to all of you within Arch. Just another enormous thanks for all you do. Thank you for the last 10 years, and here's to the next 10 years. And as Jane says, 11 as well, the 21st birthday party of Arch. But we'll look forward to that. But anyway, thank you very much for everyone who's here today. Thank you.